Welcome to Feel It to Heal It, where we explore our inner world, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions, and learn how to manage ourselves and our relationships in peaceful, purposeful, and powerful ways. You can find this show on the web at eqforpeace.org and on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. Now here's the host of Feel It to Heal It, Matt Perlstein.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. This is season 2, episode 2, called Feel It to Heal It. And we are exploring our inner world, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions, and learn how to manage ourselves and our relationships in peaceful, purposeful, and powerful ways. You can find the show on eqforpeace.org. We're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And afterward, it'll be on Apple, Google, and Spotify, and Stitcher. So I'm Matt Perlstein, your host, and feeling maniac. And I'm trying to get everyone to feel more and feel better. And that's tricky. It's tricky. And what's happening, because we don't learn how to deal with our emotions in school or at home, or certainly not at work, then we don't know how to deal with them. And that's not going very well. There's a lot of pain going on. There's so many violence and suicides and so much pain going on in the world that is optional, because, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, because we don't know how to deal with them. We never learned. And we weren't taught, and our parents didn't teach us because they didn't know. Our teachers didn't teach us, but they're starting to, which is wonderful, especially in the United States. I'm happy about that. But man, we have a long way to go. I can't believe that it's been thousands of years of education, and we never really dealt with this stuff that is so critical to our functioning. We learn our left brain logic, smarts and knowledge and information so that we can get a job. But there's so much more to it. I was pretty disappointed with my education in that department, because I learned lots of good stuff going all the way through college. I learned some good stuff, but I didn't learn about me. I didn't learn about how to deal with me. And so that's what we're doing here. We're dealing with our feelings. We know pretty well about our thoughts, but we don't know squat about our feelings. So let's carry on, shall we? I want to teach you a little bit. This is about, I want to teach you a little bit about EQ, about emotional intelligence, and how that is a quest for peace. Quest for peace is the goal. What we found is that we have left brain and right brain, and our left brain is a logical, mechanical, parallel process or sequential processing. Boom, boom, boom. A plus B equals C. It's our knowledge, it's our understanding, and that's what we teach in school. That's what our society is a left brain society. Most of them are. And so that's what we deal with, is our left brain. Well, what about the other side? The whole other side of us, the whole other side of our brain is not paid much attention to and taught about and understood. So that's where we're going with this. When I say feel it to heal it, we're talking about jumping over on the right side, and figuring out what's going on inside of you, and some of the stuff that you've been carrying around probably in your body, sometimes for years and years and years, that you don't have to anymore. So we learn good logic, we learn good intelligence, and we know lots of good information, and that's cool. We need that. But we also need to increase our right brain, our understanding of our inner world and our insides and how that works. So that's what we're doing. So that's what we're doing here. So this episode right now, this next 15 minutes or so is going to be more information about how this works. Next time, and from now on in our 10 sessions, we're going to talk about the real stuff, our pain, our anger, our sadness, our issues, our stuff from our childhood, stuff that we carry around in our body, how to feel so that we can heal. But next time, this time we're going to talk about how it's done, how the logical side. What we found is that I'm saying left brain first because your left brain needs to understand, so it gives your right brain permission to feel. So it's helpful to understand what is going on here. What are we doing now first? So again, we're pretty good at our left brain. We're pretty good with our IQ. We're not so good with our EQ. So we're trying to elevate our EQ and come up and balance them. I am not saying that one is better than the others. In certain situations, it's better to be logical and reduce your emotions. In some situations, it's better to be more intuitive and aware of what's going on inside of you, and maybe even a little less logical. It's kind of weird, but it's true. This is more important that I feel strongly about this. This is more important than whether it makes sense or not. The balance is it makes sense and it feels good, or it feels right. Both sides. You can't really do one. Well, you can do one without the other, but I suggest you don't. I suggest you incorporate both, because once we understand our thoughts and our feelings, it's so much information that your body is trying to give you, and you can make better decisions. You can get better results. You can have better relationships. You can have more success in your life, all kinds of stuff by balancing yourself, balancing both sides of you. Tons of studies going on about that now. And it's very encouraging, very cool. And also, by the way, very free. Very free. All this stuff is inside of all of us. We're born with it. We got it. We just don't know how to use it. So it's an education problem. It's a training issue. And so that's what we're doing here, right? Four main things that we can deal with, that we get to deal with. And it's kind of all we get, but it's all we need too, luckily, which is cool, is our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions, which are our left brain, right brain, and body. Another way to put it is our head, heart, hand. Another is our mind, our heart, and our actions, all that. So anyway, that's where we have the most power, is inside of ourselves, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. I put in the fourth step, which is decisions. Decisions are critical to this whole thing. That's kind of where puts everything together, and that is where you have the most choice, right? I can take this information that my brain's given me, I can take some more information that my heart's given me, and then I decide. Then I get to do something about it. I decide what I'm going to do, and I decide what I'm not going to do, right? Sometimes with strong emotions, not doing something, keeping your mouth shut and not doing things is a good idea. No action is a good action. It's an action, and it's a good action. So I'd highly recommend it. So 4 steps, 4 components of it: thoughts, feelings, decisions, actions. All right. It all starts with our thoughts. Right? Some people debate this. There's some debate going on of whether your feelings come first or your thoughts come first. I happen to believe, because there's absolute proof in both directions of which one comes first. And so you believe what you want to believe, basically. And I believe thoughts come first, because what seems to me is, if I think you're trying to hurt me, I'm going to feel all kinds of yucky stuff, right? If I think you're a friend of mine and you're not trying to hurt me, I'm going to feel completely different, right? So I think our thoughts come first most of the time. The good news is that we can shift things. If I think you're trying to hurt me, and then I go, no, they're not. No, they're not. I tell myself, I have this thought. I can then discuss it with myself and make a decision about the thought. This is emotional intelligence. And go, you know what? I don't like that thought. I think I'm going to make a new thought. I'm going to say, you know what? I have been hurt, and other people have hurt me, but you never hurt me. So maybe you're not trying to. Maybe you're not malicious. Maybe you're not evil, trying to hurt me. maybe I'm just taking it that way, or maybe you're having a bad day and you don't usually, so I'll give a slack this time, that kind of thing. You can adjust your thoughts. It's called spin it to win it, I call it. I like these hashtags. We're going through this. Spin it to win it. You can adjust what you're thinking. So I can have a thought, it already happened, so you can't really change it, but you can make a new thought and overwrite it and go with that thought instead of that one. And that's up to you, right? They're your thoughts. All of them. This is emotional responsibility too. Is it your thoughts, your feelings, your decisions, your actions, your values, your beliefs, your motivation, your all that stuff? That's yours. Yours. And that's wonderful news. That's wonderful news. You're in charge of you. You are in charge of you. So you got to make it safe for you. And then you can deal with stuff. You can deal with yourself. So like I said, no matter what, this is the great news. We are in control, right? No matter what happens outside of us, we get to control what happens inside of us. We have that power. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. That was a life changer for me completely. That's why I'm sitting here right now, because some years ago, I found that out and I was like, you're kidding. That's fantastic. I got to tell people. Actually, I found out and I was completely shocked. And then not too much longer or later, I realized, you know what? Not only did I not know that, or did I not learn that in school, most people have no idea about this stuff, about emotional intelligence. Never even thought of the concept, never heard of it, and never even dreamed that, I can be smart about my feelings. What? I can what? And people go, oh, I can. That was a life changer. That's a life changer. It was for me, and it's a lot of other people. And I've said that to other people, and they go, oh, that's amazing. That's great, right? You can change your life right now by taking control of your thoughts and feelings, by taking responsibility for them, and by learning how to manage you. They didn't do it to you. No one makes you angry. Nobody makes you angry. No one has ever made you angry. Nobody hurts your feelings. You do that. Your thoughts and your feelings, you did that. They didn't do that. They did what they did. Whether it hurts you or not is up to you. Pretty cool, huh? Eleanor Roosevelt said, no one can make you feel bad about yourself without your permission. Good news, right? Good news. So here's kind of how this works, right? We're talking about it being up to you, right? Here's how this works. Events happen. Stuff happens. You get out of bed in the morning, things are going to happen. If you don't get out of bed in the morning, things are still going to happen, but stuff is happening, right? It's happening around you, actually sometimes inside of you, but stuff is happening. Okay, that just is, and it's going to keep happening. Step 2, you have a thought and or a feeling about what's happening. Guess what? Now you just brought it inside of you. Now you took the outside and you note, underline, you brought it inside of you. Okay. So you have a thought and you have a feeling about what's happening. Now it's inside of you. Now it's your problem, right? Now it's your challenge, your opportunity. It's yours. Okay. So what do? We take the basic steps of it. Awareness. I had a thought. I had a feeling. First thing, awareness, mindfulness, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. I'm aware of what happened. I can't do anything until I'm aware. Doc Downing said, you can't do anything. You can't make logical decisions on things you do not know, that you're not aware of. How about that? It's kind of like duh, but it's important. So become aware of what's going on. Be aware of your thoughts, your feelings, what's going on inside of you, not so much outside, inside of you. Okay. Second, it doesn't seem like a big deal. It's a huge deal. It's called acceptance. Acceptance means, oh, okay. Yeah, I had a thought. I had a feeling. Okay, it's okay. We a lot of times people deny it and lie to themselves about it and try to avoid it and try to stuff it down inside and try to eat over it, drink over it, all that kind of stuff, because they're not accepting that they're having a yucky feeling. It's okay. It's not going to kill you. It's just a feeling, right? It's okay. So you can accept what's going on and accept that you are in charge of those, right? So awareness and acceptance. Then, okay, do I like it? Is it working for me? I had this thought. I'm thinking you're trying to hurt me. I don't like that thought. I think I'll change it. I don't like it. I don't think I like it. I mean, I don't want to keep that thought. And so I change it, right? So I evaluate, I decide I'm going to change it, or I decide I'm going to say something to you, or I decide I'm not going to say something to you. I'm deciding, and I get to decide, right? That's up to me. Now it's coming back outside of us. So all this stuff, awareness, acceptance, action, or no, awareness, acceptance, evaluation, decision, our thoughts, our feelings, all that stuff is inside of us. As soon as you take action, now we're talking outside, right? Now we're going outside. There might be consequences. So stuff happened, events happened outside of us. We then process them. They went through our thoughts, our feelings, and stuff that happens goes inside of us. And then it comes back out into actions, right? So our actions are our choice. We can take action or not take action. We can decide to keep our mouth shut, or we can say, no, I need to say this now. So our actions are really important. Then our actions become who we are, what we do, our personality, what's happening, and that's the results we're going to get in our life. So if you're not getting the results that you want in your life, check out your actions, and before that, check out your thoughts and feelings that went into the decisions that you acted. So you can process yourself, you can be in charge of yourself, you can understand how you worked, and then you go, oh, look, that's why this is happening. How about that? Huh? So it puts you in charge of you. Kind of sum this thing up is inner world is our thoughts and feelings. Our outer world is our actions and our results. Three quick. So positive mental health we're working on now. Mental health means it's usually kind of has a negative connotation to it. And it is about problems and issues and pain and such. So it's not fun stuff, but we can learn from those and get better. We can learn how to deal with our negative emotions and let them go and fill up with positives, and we can do better. We can actually create positives out of our negatives. It's pretty cool. So first off, one of the things is name it to tame it. I like that one. Name it to tame it. What are you feeling? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? So I call it plus T's and minus T's. That means positive thoughts and negative thoughts. And plus F's and minus F's are positive and negative feelings. So what are you feeling? What do you think? What are you thinking? What's going on inside you? What's going on? I need to understand for myself. I need to be able to explain it to other people. Sometimes my world. So name it to tame it. Sometimes if I understand, oh, that's fear, that feels better right away, instantly. Be like, oh, I see what's going on. All right. And it makes sense to me. So name it to tame it is a real thing. Next is spin it to win it. Okay, I named it. I found it. I am aware of it. I accepted it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to change it. Spin it, change it, adjust it. It's not that you're trying to get me. It's not that the world's out to get me. It's that the world's doing what they're doing and you're doing what you're doing. You're not trying to hurt me necessarily. You may by accident, or you may have, but most of the time people are not trying to hurt you. They're not. And if you think they are, then you are going to feel miserable. If you think that maybe they're not, you're going to feel a little better, right? You're going to feel a little better. So spin it to win it, changing negative thoughts into positive thoughts, and therefore positive feelings. And then feel it to heal it is the point of all this. This is how we let go. This is how we accept that we're feeling something, how we're feeling. We feel what we feel sometimes. And sometimes very, very strongly. Not every time. You wouldn't be able to function if you felt every single thing you felt at the depth you felt it. You wouldn't be able to function, in my opinion. But sometimes you got to go there. Sometimes, we were talking about this yesterday. It seems like we have limits to what we allow ourselves to feel. We have limits we put on ourselves based on our pain and our disappointment and our stuff that happened to us in the past. That didn't go well. I'm shutting my heart down. I got hurt. It's not okay. And that's not okay with me. And I've closed myself down. There are limits. So I don't want to feel that bad stuff anymore. But the problem is, if I don't feel the bad stuff, I also don't get to feel really good stuff. So that's one problem. And the other problem is that you're putting yourself in a box. You're limiting yourself. And so what happens is, if you allow yourself to feel more on purpose, it stretches your box. It stretches it, right? There's a saying, a mind stretched by a new idea never retains its original shape. Well, same thing with your heart. If you allow yourself to feel one time and strongly, and you live through it, which you will then afterward be able to have more expressive range. You'll have more range to express and to feel and to be. And it's a wonderful, it's not just this way either. It's this way and every which way that because we close our heart like this and we can open it back up and feel more and better. It's really beautiful thing, but it's not always easy. It's not always fun. It's not always fun, but it's got to get done. So that's the challenge to this. So what are you feeling? We start with what are you feeling? What are you feeling? So there's a bunch of charts about this. Here's one on 6seconds.org that is pretty specific, and there's the core feelings are in the middle, and then they get more specific as you go out. It's helpful to have a really good emotional vocabulary so that you can make sense to you. At least you can make sense to you. You're like, oh, okay, I understand. That's embarrassment, or that is anxious. I'm anxious right now, right, etc. But you know, and you're like, okay, I can deal with that. All right. If I just go, I'm in a bad mood and life sucks and people are awful, those are too big of generalizations. But if you go, specifically, I am scared about this and I was hurt in this department, I'm still hurt about that, or I'm angry about some things that are going on, right? If you can be more specific, you can deal with those things. If you just go, life is awful, then that's what you're going to believe, and that's too much to change. But I can deal with specific situations and problems. Right. So that's one way to look at it. Here's another one. Here's another way to find your feelings. And this one's cool because it shows opposites, the opposite of this and that. This again is on 6seconds.org. Go find it. They've got a really cool graphic to do that. And it you can click on them and it drills down and show the opposites and all. It's very cool. So it's called Plotnik's emotion wheel. Here's different faces. People feel what they feel, different faces. Here's a kid one. One of the coolest things that they're doing in schools to allow to include emotional intelligence, which is called social emotional learning in the United States and most places in education or academia. Social emotional learning, SEL. Is they take this little chart and put it up on the board and go, okay, kids, I know one teacher does this 3 times a day. They go around the room and figure out what you're feeling right now. Just one word. What are you feeling right now? And the little chart helps. And you go, oh, I'm sad, I'm angry, blah, 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 whatever it is. And it's such a wonderful, amazing exercise because it does awareness, it does acceptance, it does understanding, it does validation, it does separation. It allows you to not feel alone and feel wrong and problem and broken and weird, right? If you go, I'm feeling angry, and 2 or 3 other kids in the room are feeling the same thing, you're like, oh, okay, it's not that big a deal. And in the United States, you don't have to go shoot anybody, and you don't have to shoot any yourself. You just are angry for a minute. You're feeling angry. Okay, it's not that big a deal. It's just a feeling, right? We don't have to take drastic action. In fact, we can take no action or very little action based on our, even though we have really strong thoughts and feelings, we can separate our actions from what we're thinking and feeling. We do not have to go shoot anybody. Cool, huh? Just a feeling. So here's another way to put it. What do you feel today? And ask. This one says, how are you feeling? Crossed out, but what are you feeling? How are you feeling usually gets a physical response. I'm sore, I'm angry, or I'm tired. And so ask, what are you feeling? All right. This is a cool one. It's got 4,000 words in English language that are give you a good vocabulary of feelings. Really helpful, but it also helpful to sum it up. Joy, peace, and love are the big 3 positives, and fear, anger, and sadness are the big 3 negatives. So get good at those. If you get good at your fear, your anger, and your sadness, those 3, just those 3, there's not much that life can throw at you that you can't handle. So here's some resources. Give yourself permission to feel, take responsibility for your feelings, and learn more about how they work, okay? Because this is all new. So next time we'll talk about belief systems and healing your past, some heavy duty stuff. So join me next Friday or next session, whatever, if you're afterward. Anyway, so thanks. Let yourself feel, make it happen. All right. Take care.
You have been listening to Feel It to Heal It with your host, Matt Perelstein, creating peace inside and around us with emotional intelligence, EQ. Remember that your thoughts and feelings matter more than you ever realized to guide your actions and create peace, purpose, and power in life. You can catch prior episodes on the web at eqforpeace.org and on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more.